Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. There is so much going on right now. So much. What I need you to do is take a step back and start filtering out the noise, right? Start looking for notes, information that's going to move the market or move a project that you're interested in, and not just give you detail on macro events that have already happened. So at this point, I'm paying attention to FTX in terms of, is there anything else that's going to affect my bag or what I'm interested in holding, right? Or investing in. If it's not, I'm letting it go. It's about that time. So, to that end, BitcoinCom has started a CEX Education Program. Not that kind of sex. CEX, right? Centralized exchange. Okay? So I think it's going to be interesting because it's meant to inform people, educate people about the DeFi space, what it can do, what it can't do, all that kind of stuff. I haven't checked it out yet. I definitely want to check it out because I'm wondering if it's going to give people enough of a foundation so that they can get an understanding about what it is. And I'm sorry, it's bitcoin.com. Okay, I might have said that incorrectly. The next one up, President Biden was at the G20 summit, and he said, basically, listen, we need, stricter crypto regulation on an international scale. That's great. I don't know if it's about stricter as much as about, consistency, transparency, and taking a pragmatic approach to proper, regulation. There are a ton of strict regulations, laws and stuff like that for stocks, bonds, all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't mean that you're going to stop a bad actor. It just means you'll be able to track back to who that bad actor was. Now, something that probably snapped a lot of necks this morning was Bill Ackman, totally against crypto, or at least he was. Out of nowhere, the guy drops a bunch of tweets talking about, hey, I've been looking at, I was wrong. I've been doing some research. I've been looking at some projects that are interesting to me. He named two, Helium and this project DIMO, right? So DIMO basically pays you in crypto coin for sharing your car data, right? And you're basically minting it in your car. I don't know about you, but I would have to do a lot more research because I know that somebody can take control over your car depending on what kind of car you have. They can take control over your car, like turn it off kind of control. So imagine being on the highway and somebody turns off your car. That wouldn't be cool. So I'd have to do a little bit more research on that particular project. I have no pluses, no minuses about it. I would have to do more research. Helium, on the other hand, what is it? Back in September, I was talking to people about, it was either September or July. I forget when. I'd have to look it up. But you can look it up in my videos. Talking about how Helium has, some problems. There were shenanigans going on at the company. So there are a lot of things. So I'd have to do more research into that. I think he likes the concepts of these two projects. But it means that this guy is now interested in crypto. Again, while the market seems to be imploding, big people are trying to find ways in. Pay attention to that. Remember what I said a couple of days ago? If there's blood in the streets, invest. Why? Because that's probably the best time to buy. I heard that from somebody before, and I kept thinking about it years ago, and told my kids about it, and that's how we look at it. So you see blood in the streets, even if it's your blood. That's the big part of that particular saying. Even if it's your blood, invest. So look at what he's doing right now. He's saying, listen, yeah, things could be messed up. I'm getting in. All right. Now, flip side of that coin is Neel Kashkari. He's the CEO and president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis. This guy decided that he's going to come out and he's basically going to say, I want to read you the quote. He basically said, crypto is just a tool of speculation and greater fools. It's not good for payments either. Like, what? Dude, he's so deeply embedded in a traditional financial market that I don't know that he's allowing himself. You know, he's smart. He didn't get that job because he's not smart. He's a very smart man. I don't know that he's allowing himself to look into different ideas. Now, that's the problem. It's not that people aren't smart and they're talking against crypto. It's that I think they're so smart and so set in their ways that they're not allowing themselves to learn more about the space. The good thing is that, I think he was also one that said, listen, not going to be against, slowing down a little bit on rate hikes. So I don't know if people, it's been so normalized now that 75 basis points seems to be the norm, but really it used to be 25, 50 basis points. I think some people on the Federal Reserve Board are now open to that whole 50 basis point move, thusly stepping it back a little bit, which would kind of be in line with, what a lot of people are thinking, as well as what they have front run with what could be a possibility starting in either December or January. So that's a big deal. Next one up, Nexo. So apparently, or allegedly, back in March 2020 and again in October 2020, I think the cumulative number was $126 million was trying to be withdrawn from Nexo, and they stopped it. A lawsuit comes about October of this year. So literally 2 years later, somebody, the group of investors files a lawsuit. I'm sitting back and I'm going, why is that? So I'm interested to find out what that is all about, why, and what took so long. So I'm going to be interested in that. That actually got brought to court in London's High Court. So we're going to have to pay attention to that to see what happens, because it does involve Nexo, and that's not a small thing. Here's something else that's interesting. Man Group, over $138 billion, with a B, billion dollars in assets under management, is now saying they're going to start a crypto fund, and they should have it up and running by the end of this year. That's huge, because remember what I said when I was talking about Bill Ackman? It says that people with money, institutions with money, while there's blood in the streets, are trying to find a way to get into crypto. That is huge. Huge. Now, other companies, other financial institutions that we all know about are already there. Already there. BlackRock, Citi, JP Morgan, Mr. Jamie Dimon always saying something negative about crypto, but JP Morgan's all about it. With their Onyx Digital, they're all about it. Other groups are also involved. So it stands to reason that if Fidelity, another big one, trillions of dollars in assets under management, BlackRock having 10, Fidelity, I think, having 4.5, give or take. So if those big boys are in, some of the smaller teams are going to come in. Something to pay attention to. You might be getting yap and negativity from one side, but watch the money. If you watch the money, they're telling you, we're in. We're getting in, we're doing things. And that's why I do my own research. Bill Ackman, when I saw the headline, I was like, what? I stopped and I started doing my own research. I wanted to corroborate that because it was nuts. I literally just a few months ago had said this guy was not good with it. And all of a sudden he's got a 180 going on. And even said it. Go look him up on Twitter. You'll see it. Anyway, what we should do, we should get to the numbers. So let's do that. Alrighty. So now we've got, right, and this is something that I found interesting. We're not in the teens. We're still in the low 20s, 21 in terms of fear and greed. And that's a big deal. Right? Because I would have thought with everything going on and, Bitcoin taking a dive, especially today, it's in the 15,000s. Remember earlier this year, somebody had said, Bitcoin's going to see 15,000. And I said, well, I don't know about that. Bitcoin, I think we'll see higher numbers before we saw later numbers. You want to know what? We were both right. Because when we took the first dip, we saw 25. We saw 25 a couple of times. And now we're all the way down in the 15s. Both right. Both right. So what am I doing right now? You're damn right. Dollar cost averaging. I'm all about getting in, right? And why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? And I want you guys to pay attention to something, and I want to show you something. Let me see if it'll pop up quick enough. There you go. This is what I'm talking about. I want you to take a look at, and that's my dog Stitch. I want you to take a look at where Bitcoin is at 15,645 versus ETH, Ethereum, still being above even 1,100. Pause. Go do research on that. Go check out the difference in correlation now. They both move and do things and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But Ethereum established a new high and with it established a new low. So now, where they were moving like this, now there's a bigger gap. This is why you do your own research, because you'll notice something like that. Don't just listen to people that are telling you about crypto. Don't just listen to people that are telling you about any investment. Pay attention to your own research. And does it corroborate anybody else's perspectives or views on a given subject? Make note, take action, or don't take action, but at least you will be more informed and more attentive to the subject matter. That is the big deal. Nothing more. Nothing less. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.